Pat Solitano has lost everything: his house, his job, and his wife. He now finds himself living back with his mother and father after spending 8 months in an institution to treat his newly diagnosed bipolar disorder. In these video clips, we will show you Patrick's different behaviors manifested by his bipolar disorder and discuss the interventions to help with these behaviors.
In this first clip, Patrick is meeting with his therapist and discussing the incident that caused him to be institutionalized. Patrick talks about catching his wife cheating with a coworker and how he almost beats the man to death. Then the therapist digs deeper and we find out the different behaviors that Patrick exhibits that can correlate with the bipolar disorder.
And you know what he says to me? You should probably go. That's what he says to me. So yeah, I snapped. I almost beat him to death. But then I get fucking chastised for it. That I'm parallel to my father. I don't think so.
All right. Can you talk about something that you did before or after?
Yeah, about a week before the incident, I called the cops, and I told them that my wife and the history guy were plotting against me by embezzling money from the local high school, which wasn't true. It was a delusion. And we later found out from the hospital that's because I'm,
Undiagnosed bipolar.
yeah, with mood swings and weird thinking brought on by severe stress, which rarely happens, thank God. And then the shower incident happened, and that's when everything snapped. So I then realized that, oh wow, I've been dealing with this my whole life. And without any supervision, I've been doing it all on my own, with no help. And,
Bipolar disorders are chronic, recurrent, and life-threatening and requires close monitoring. It often goes undiagnosed for many years before getting proper treatment. With Pat, this seems to be the case, as he describes that he has been living undiagnosed for all these years. Pat, along with many other people suffering from bipolar disorder, go through episodes. One side is mania and the other is depression. Pat's episode of mania was triggered by his wife cheating on him. Oftentimes, severe stress does trigger this state, causing Pat to beat the man and be institutionalized. Delusions are very common in the manic state as well, forcing people to believe they are out to get them, or in Pat's situation, that they were part of an embezzlement scheme.
In this next scene, watch as Pat exhibits flight of ideas and inappropriate questions when meeting Tiffany at the dinner party. Pat jumps from question to question and different topics, making conversation difficult. He also pries into Tiffany's personal life when rudely asking about her husband's death and the loss of her job. Pat has a flat affect and is obviously not interested in what she has to say, but is just trying to do what is normal by trying to have a conversation with her.
You okay with that?
So,
Monica's sister.
Tiffany and Tommy?
Yeah, just Tiffany.
What happened to Tommy?
He died.
Tommy died.
Cops die.
How'd he die?
Please, don't bring it up.
No, how did he die?
I just said.
How did who die?
Hey, Tiffany. Is this Pat? Pat? Sister-in-law Tiffany?
You look nice.
Thank you.
I'm not flirting with you.
Oh, I didn't think you were.
I just see that you made an effort, and I'm going to be better with my wife. I'm working on that. I want to acknowledge her beauty. I never used to do that. I'm going to do that now, because we're going to be better than ever, Nikki. Just practicing. How'd Tommy die? What about your job?
I just got fired, actually.
Oh, really? How? I mean, I'm sorry. How'd that happen?
Does it really matter?
Baby, how's it going?
Great, great.
Oh, baby, come here. Come show me the house, please.
The whole house?
The whole house. Yeah. I think it'll be fun. We're gonna go on a tour now.
In the next scene, the state Pat is in would fall under the acute mania stage, which is commonly marked by hyperactivity. With bipolar disorder, people can become demanding, have short-lived periods of rage, and have poor judgments. They tend to be restless and experience insomnia. Chaotic outbursts can also occur along with assaultive behavior. Watch as Pat exhibits all of these behaviors when he is unable to find his wedding video.
at 3 o'clock. What are you doing? I looked in here, but this is all your shit up here for your sewing and everything. Did you put it up here?
What about in your father's study?
Don't go in my study.
Dad, not now. Would you put it in here? Makes no sense for you to put it in here.
Patty, what are you doing?
He's got all his Eagles videos. We went in one video of my wedding. Is it here?
Patty?
It's probably in the attic.
Are you going in my study?
Feels to me like you want to hide my wedding video.
No, I don't see anything.
You think I can't handle it?
Please stop yelling.
I'm not yelling, Mom. I'm just frustrated because I should have my fucking wedding videos.
Pat! Pat!
I already looked all over. I'm not calming down. I don't give a fuck who here. I'm not calming down. Anybody can wake up. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. Let the whole neighborhood wake up. I don't care.
Stop it! Stop it!
No, Mom.
What's going on?
What? Hey, it's my wedding. It's my wedding video. Oh, I can't watch a video now. Mom, what the fuck are you doing? You fucking no. Get off me, girl. I'm not doing anything. I'm not hitting it. He's hitting me, Dad. I'm sorry.
As we can see in these clips, communicating with a patient who is manic may be challenging. We have listed some effective approaches for communicating with a person experiencing mania and bipolar disorder below. Specific strategies can help maintain the safety of the patient. Continually set limits in a firm, non-threatening manner and a neutral manner to prevent further escalation of these behaviors and to provide safe boundaries for everyone involved. Education increases compliance by improving the regularity of daily life and by providing clear guidelines for both patients and families to follow. Medication adherence is key in the treatment of bipolar disorder. When patients stop taking their medications, they begin to relapse into manic behaviors. Common reasons for noncompliance is the way the medication makes the patient feel. It takes away the highs and the lows and can make them feel numb to the world. In this last clip, watch as Pat talks about common medications used to treat bipolar disorder and the way that they make him feel.
What meds are you on?
Me? None. I used to be on lithium and Seroquel and Abilify, but I don't take them anymore. No. They make me foggy and they also make me bloated.
Yeah, I was on Xanax and Effexor, but I agree, I wasn't as sharp, so I stopped.
You ever take Klonopin?
Klonopin, yeah.
Right?
Jesus.
Like, is it what?
Yeah.
What day is it? How about Trazodone?
Trazodone.
Oh, it flattens you out. I mean, you are done. It takes the light right out of your eyes.
God, I bet it does.
As you can see, bipolar disorder is a complex and lifelong disorder that affects not only the patient, but also the family and people involved. Pat is a good example of the struggles that one experiences when having bipolar disorder throughout their life.